One of the ways to solve linear systems given two equations and two variables is to use a method called elimination. So say this is one set of original functions and equations that we were given. The idea with elimination is that we want to pick one variable, and by the method of multiplying constants to either or both equations, we're going to make a situation where one of the variables is a positive and a negative of the same number. In this case, they've actually already done that for us. The original functions came so that we have a positive 2y and a negative 2y, which is the situation we want for elimination. We then add the two equations together. So adding down 8x plus 5x gives us 13x. Negative 2y plus 2y goes away. They cancel each other. And 5 minus 18 is negative 13. Divide both sides by 13, and x equals negative 1. Now, if we take and plug this back into either equation, we can solve for y. So say we do the top one, we get 8x minus 2 times plugging in for x, not y, negative 1 times 2y equals 5. So 8 times negative 1 gives us negative 8. Minus 2y equals 5. Negative 2y equals 13. And y equals negative 13 over 2. So we solved for x, plugged it back in for x in either one of these equations, solve then for y. So our point where this solution would be is negative 1, negative 13 halves, and we would get the same answer if we solved by graphing or if we solved by substitution, which we've been exposed to both of those earlier. Let's try another one of these that's a little bit more in depth. So, say we're given the equations 2x minus 5y equals 4 and 5x plus 2y equals 10. So let's pick one of the variables. Let's say I pick x. So I'm going to, no, let's see, x or y. Let's stay with x. So if I multiply x by negative 5, this top equation, I'm going to get negative 10x plus 25y equals negative 20. Now that this one is a negative 10x, I want this one to be a positive 10x so that they'll cancel each other when I add them together. So I'm going to times this equation by 2. So timesing the first spot by 2, I get 10x, second spot by 2, I get 4y, and third spot by 2, I get 20. Adding these together, this cancels, I get 29y equals 0. Therefore, dividing both sides by 29, y equals 0. Substituting this back in for y in either one of these original equations, let's just do the top one. Substituting it for y, we're going to solve for x. So 2x minus 0 goes away, equals 4, divide by 2, and x equals 2. Therefore, the point 2, 0 is where these two lines would cross. Notice, in this case, we actually had to multiply both equations by a number to get them to cancel. Let's say we had picked y first. If we had picked y first, we have this negative and positive already going on. That's good. We now want them to be the same number. So if I want this to be 10, I'm going to multiply the top equation by 2. And if I want this one to be 10, I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 5, and the y's would cancel.